Just warning you, this is a spoiler review because I want to talk about the movie because I saw it. I'm not going to tease you. I mean, that's what a trailer's for. Sorry if the trailer failed you. But this is spoiler talk. Let's dive into it.
Will is missing. I don't know where he is.
99 out of 100 times, kid goes missing. The kid is with a parent or a relative.
What about the other time?
What?
You said 99 out of 100. What about the other time? The one! The one!
Welcome to another episode of Movie Reviews with Anthony Hord. I got a special guest with me today in his own car, my uncle Damon Evans. Damon Evans, how are you doing?
I'm good. This is a surprise.
Yeah, this is a surprise podcast. This is what I like to call the surprise podcast, where you pull out the phone and you just do it.
That is a great title.
So I'd like to discuss your review or just what your thoughts were on the series Stranger Things. What'd you think?
It brought me back to my childhood. I am a child of the 80s.
Right.
And so not only was it set in like 1983 or something, but they chose to make every production element fall in line with 80s feel, culture, vibe. So the music choices, the typeface of the opening credits, it was just fantastic. So
Yeah, I have to say those opening credits were
my 80s heart.
Those opening credits were amazing. When I'm watching it, I'm like, wow, is this an actual dated thing? But then it felt so new too.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, that was a great.
Yeah. Opening up, we see three boys. Well, actually four. One of them disappears. But Spoiler! Oh yeah, this is spoiler talk. We're not holding back. So I just really liked how it had the Goonies feel right off the bat. I was like, okay. And then it switched characters and like it was just as equally as good. Like you didn't feel like you were missing out on the Goonies. Maybe later you do because you have to explore more of the world in the movie / show. It felt like a whole movie, really.
Yeah.
Like it knew when to go up and then go down. Like it didn't feel like a continuous show, always hooking you with a high up point. It just hooked you with a story point.
Well, yeah, and so much so that most people are watching it in 1 or 2 sittings, even though is it 8 episodes or 10 episodes?
Yeah, it's 8 episodes.
So,
That's 45 minutes apiece.
yeah, so it's a binger for sure.
Oh man, I wonder how they did that. Like, how did they hold out for the longest time to just create something so good?
I think they just write it like a long movie.
Yeah.
And allow themselves the freedom to develop characters and develop story, and then just break it up into pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that Netflix doesn't do it. Like HBO makes great series like that, but they like Game of Thrones, but they come out episodically like each week to create the buzz, so that like people are out there dying to know what happens to Jon Snow or something.
Right.
Whereas these Netflix series, you hear about it and it's brand new, but it's all there.
Right.
Like you can just, well, now what I know I'm doing this whole weekend, I'm gonna go take in Stranger Things.
I feel like that should be the new hook for studios or networks that are just having services out there. And I think that we're moving on from weekly episodic things to just binge watching, because I feel like that will be the money grabber. That's basically, if you're hooked by the pilot episode, you have my money. And I mean, Netflix obviously has a smart way of doing it, the whole $7 subscription thing. And I'm sure that just gets more people involved on the subscription because it's only available there, right?
That's true, but I'm sure they've done the math and they know what they're doing, but you would think that like the way HBO does it, well, on TV always has, is that the cliffhanger, you gotta see it next week, creates a lot of buzz in the world, like when people are like saying, did you see what happened? And I'm dying to know what happens next. And so there's so much more water cooler talk about it,
Right.
rather than like with these series that come out all at once, and you're it's kind of a flash in the pan, because like we binged Stranger Things, and yes, we're talking about it, and I loved it, but I think if I wasn't doing a podcast with you, it could pretty quickly go into the recesses of my mind and be kind of forgotten because it didn't consume a month, 6 months or a year of my life.
No.
Where every week I was dying to know what happened next.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not sure. To me, it doesn't seem to have as much potential power to engage an audience.
Okay.
Doing it that way.
So would that put Netflix in a weird kind of corner where consumers are just like pushing for so much more and like disappointed if there's not more content?
Oh gosh, I think that's so true. Like we're just like, you get to the end of a season and you kind of are mad and saying, give me more, you know.
Yeah, it took them forever to make that.
Give me the next series, you know, the next season, and people have no idea how much effort has to go into every, you know, series that's out there.
I mean, to even get it that right too. Stranger Things had almost the pacing, the characters, everything right, especially for a TV show.
Well, so many TV shows do now because all the energy and talent that used to be solely directed to movies is now going to television because that's where the eyeballs are and the money is. So it's a huge time in Hollywood for so many jobs and opportunities for writers and crew people and actors. There's just so much content out there between networks to shows, cable shows, and then the other platforms like Amazon and Netflix.
And you can tell it's going to TV shows. I mean, when's the last like big film that came out in theaters? Like this summer was a disappointment. It was only superhero films, really. All the Avenger films up to the Avengers, that's good. But continuing, like, and just bringing in more characters, it's just going to fill up, and I feel like some characters are going to fall out, and you're going to disconnect from a lot of the world because it's so big. And I feel like you need to just be more intimate with your stories like Stranger Things was. So, but let's go back to Stranger Things. Who was your favorite character, or like what was your favorite storyline really got you like involved?
Okay, let me think about this. I really did like the girl, the little
11?
telekinetic girl. Yeah, 11. See, it happened so fast in my life that I can't remember character names.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who were the characters. That girl, there's something just really. She was very well cast. I mean, her part was simple, but just in her neutral expressions, just had a really sympathetic look. You know, I mean, yeah, she had a shaved head, but I don't know. There was something like my heart just immediately was drawn to her. So there was that. As far as a character goes, though, I thought they were all really well cast. Did a great job. I really loved the pudgier kid.
Yeah.
I love that scene. I don't know if have you seen the whole series?
Yeah.
Now? I love that scene when he's like telling him that he's his best friend. You know? He's like, well, he's your best friend. He's like, he's not my best friend. And he's like, yes, he is. And he's like, well, you're my best friend too. And he's like, come on.
It doesn't work like that. Yeah.
I just love that.
Camaraderie was perfect. I have to say my favorite character.
I gotta take a call.
Oh, gotta take a call. Okay. We got a live call, people.
No, it's probably nothing. Let me see. Oh, I missed it.
Oh, sweet. He missed the call. All right, resuming. I feel like one of the best characters in Stranger Things was Will's mother. Will is the kid that gets abducted by
Talking about Winona Ryder?
Winona Ryder. Winona Ryder.
You don't know her?
Ah, man, I've seen her in things before, but she really stuck out to me in this one.
Yeah, she's a famous. She was so amazing because this role that she's playing is not at all what we've come to know Winona Ryder as. If you are as old as me, Winona Ryder was the girl from Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we always know Winona Ryder as the hot chick. Good actress, but you know, and she's not just hot; she's also talented. But
Totally.
she was always super cute and kind of the little girl next door kind of thing. So to see her as this wrecked, like, you know, I hate to use the expression "white trash," but kind of this,
Just normal, average mother.
Yeah, and you know, she was so wrecked.
Oh man.
And distraught, and played that off so well. I love seeing actresses that were beautiful, like cover model type actresses, allowing themselves to be just exposed like that. And you're seeing a lot of it now because they want to be known as an actress, not just as a pretty face. I really love that.
You hear that? Hot chicks out there trying to be the main cover. We want to see you exposed, but not nude. Keep your titties covered. We want to see that talent. We want the other T. We want some talent. Yeah, no, I don't know about you, but I actually got, like, for a TV show like that, I got so many chills up and down my spine and on my arms when she saw the lights in her house starting to light up and then just communicated to Will. You could tell that she was just like a mom, like ready to grab her son in the darkest of themes. Like, she was scared. She ran out of the house, but man, she like stomped back into the house just hearing the creepy music playing out Will's soul, saying like, should I stay or should I go? Or I think that was the monsters talking to her, but oh man, it gave me chills just seeing the lights zap around and she was fighting for him and seeing him in the walls. Yeah, she did a really good job at I just believed her when she was freaking out. Definitely not like Dakota Fanning in War of the Worlds. Nothing more than just given she was like a child, but still. I mean, Stranger Things right there, children actors. Rare finds, I think, all of them.
Yeah.
Really strong. What do you think of the children casting?
Yeah, that's what I was saying before. They're just all so committed to the moment. And I, as you know, Anthony, we work with kid actors a lot.
Yeah.
And the way you get around them not being committed to the moment is just by shooting a lot of close-ups and having them say something 20 times, and then in editing, we make it feel like a scene, by cobbling together the best takes. But this movie, you could just tell these kids all were really, knew their characters, committed to the moment, played off each other very well, whether they were, having fun over the Dungeons and Dragons or if they were totally, frightened by the situation. It was great.
Yep. Stranger Things. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. It's on Netflix. If you already got it, you got it. But if you don't, I suggest you get it. It's only $7. It's basically just purchasing a movie every month. And I'm sure all you guys are renting them for $5 every other day. So
Yeah.
definitely not a steal out of your pocket. It's definitely you stealing from other people, or however you want to put that. I have no idea.
There's a good way to do it.
There's a good way. I didn't do it right though. Is there anything?
It's a bargain.
Is there anything we're missing real quick? I feel like there's something really that needs to be talked about Stranger Things before we close it up.
Well, you were talking about the character. I think we both appreciated that the character that in a typical show you might just be like a throwaway foil character, like the bully, the kid that you don't like.
Yes.
Who was his older sister's, this particular female character, her boyfriend. And you kind of get to know him initially as just this, typical high school guy that's just trying to, get in this girl's under her drawers,
Or hoo-ha.
Yeah. And they set him up that way, but then they continue to develop that character, and he comes around to kind of be an ally in the whole thing. And I really appreciated that they redeemed him and showed a more three-dimensional view of him.
Yep. Steve the Sly Dog. Now, I think that kid was related to the actor that plays John Ralphio in Parks and Recreation. It's amazing how some actors can just look like each other, but I swear they have to be related, but they're not. Also, the cop. I've seen him casted into a lot of films lately, and I was surprised to see him kind of taking on a main role, which I think all actors need to strive for, because I don't think all actors get to show what talents they have on certain roles, just because I feel like either typecasted or just wrong casting. But what do you know the cop's name? The actor's name?
No, I looked him up because he felt so familiar to me, and I'm like, how do I know this guy? And I looked it up, and I'm like, I guess I don't. I mean, I'd seen him in other movies. I recognized some of the films he was in, but he wasn't like a leading character.
Never.
So no, I'd say this is probably somewhat breakout for him, even though he's a working actor. But I think he'll be much more known, and I thought he had some great moments. I loved when he was trying to get into the morgue, and he's trying to get in somewhere, and he's like, talk to so-and-so, and they're like, so-and-so? And he's like, yeah, that? Boom! He just punches the guy.
Yeah, he just knocks him out. He runs out of little sly things to say. Oh, man. Yeah, I just felt like he brought, like, I don't know, usually with a character like that, that's the authorities. It's either they believe in what the kids are saying or the stranger things that are happening. There's my little plug there.
Did you think 11 was going to be his daughter for a while?
Yeah, I did think 11 was going to be his daughter for a little bit, but then that faded out. That was cool. Yeah, his little backstory where his daughter had like anxiety or something and some type of cancer. So I thought that was going to connect, but who knows? Maybe it could still connect. But I mean, they showed the cop's daughter, so I don't think so.
Yeah, they showed her in the hospital. I think she just died of leukemia or something.
Yeah.
And we learned that 11 is the daughter of this other woman that has now gone insane.
Yep.
So they may bring her back. I bet she plays into the future.
Oh, 11?
No, her mom.
Oh, her mom.
Yeah, because, you know, it's tragic that she lost her daughter to this government agency, and now she's kind of gone loopy, but maybe 11, and we know that 11's kind of living in between worlds somehow right now.
Yeah.
Disembodied, I don't know, dimension shifter.
Yeah, that'll be interesting, the dimension part, because at the end of the show, we have Will coming back from the down under, whatever you want to call it, the dark world, and he pukes up a little slug, and I think he might be a little bit pregnant and turn into the monster, or he has just this alien pregnant power where these insects inside him can cause him to jump from our reality to the under whenever.
Yeah.
So I'll be surprised to see what they do with that. I'm excited for it. Definitely no critiques on it, really. I think it was a perfect masterpiece.
Yeah, definitely. If you love Goonies, E.T., Super 8, and the 80s, you are in for a treat, even though we just spoiled it all.
Yeah, well, that's spoiler talk. I mean, you know what this is. We're just telling people that have seen it, I guess. Go get your friends that haven't seen it and go watch it. But that's all we have for today on this podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out, y'all. You know how it is.